Well, good morning, good morning. It's Rach here, a multi-award-winning award writer with the awards people, sitting here with the fabulous being that is Emma Hallam with the megawatt smile. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Rach. How are you?
I'm splendid, thank you. We're here again this month filming in the Badass Bistro, which is Rick Patterson's office, or is located in Rick Patterson's office here at Patterson's Commercial Law. So thanks, Rick. He's upstairs. He's made the tea for us. God love him. Commercial lawyer with other skills, my friends. I'm telling you. Keep an eye out for him. So, and also a member of Alex's Wishes Business Club.
Yes,
as well.
he is, absolutely. Yes.
Top fella.
Yeah.
So let's get Emma to introduce herself. Back to you. You will have seen her on the Sofa of Success. You're now seeing her in the Badass Bistro. She's got some news for you. So Emma,
yes,
tell us all about you.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma, founder of charity, award-winning charity Alex's Wish. Multi-award-winning. Yeah. Alex's Wish. We're a charity who basically raises funds for vital research into a life-limiting muscle wasting condition called Duchenne muscular dystrophy, of which Alex, my son, who is currently 13, terrible teenage years, has got the condition. Basically in the week, 2 families in the UK will receive the same devastating diagnosis that they have also got a child with Duchenne. It is life-limiting. It's an aggressive muscle wasting condition with no treatment or cure. So basically, 100% of our focus is to raise funds to bring about potentially new treatments and ultimately a cure for Duchenne.
Wow. Big aims. Mm-hmm. Big aims. So how has it been going so far?
It's been going fantastic. Basically, I won this fabulous award recently from the Bells. Basically, Volunteer of the Year, which is just amazing. Certainly wasn't expecting it. So when I went along, there was some stiff competition, wasn't there? There was some stiff competition and some fantastic volunteers that do some fabulous work. I volunteer and have done for nearly 7 years actually with Alex's Wish, and a year prior to doing that I volunteered some of my time to the Muscular Dystrophy UK, who are based in London, and Action Duchenne. So yeah, I've been volunteering for a long time now, and I'm also a trustee of the Fernley House Foundation, which launched recently. So I just get so much, I get so much from volunteering. I can't see me doing anything else really.
So tell us a little bit about the importance of volunteering, because like you said, although you are the founder and basically the CEO of Alex's Wish, you are also a volunteer, i.e. you don't draw salary from it. So for you, what is the importance of volunteering for Alex's Wish? I
think from a personal perspective, because my son has got a life-limiting condition, I want as much money that we raise to go directly to the cause. So I personally have decided that I didn't want to get paid for that. I'm fortunate enough that my husband's got a business and is able to support the family, which is amazing, because obviously it might be different if he wasn't able to do that. But for me, I just think, it's a lovely thing to be able to do. I thoroughly enjoy my job. I get so much out of it, building relationships with supporters, with businesses out there in the community, other volunteers, the trustees. So I think looking back over the last 6.5 years, the journey and what I've done in 6.5 years compared to what I did the previous 6.5 years, it's just been phenomenal. So it's given me life experiences, it's given me new challenges, I've learned new skill sets, and I've just thoroughly enjoyed it. It is stressful though, I might add, running a charity. It's not easy, it's not for the faint-hearted. Lots of sleepless nights, lots of, sort of worrying to make sure that events go right, and all the rest of it. But I think it's been a huge learning curve, and I'm still learning all the time, picking up ideas from other charities, and I just think charities generally do phenomenal amounts of work. And I think if it wasn't for volunteers in the other charitable work, where would we be? I think it's in times of need when you realise actually the work that charities do and volunteers out in the community are just lifesavers.
Do you know, I was talking to Diane Esho yesterday for Easy Internet, and she said something very similar to that.
Yeah, it's not until you need the services that you realise how much is actually out there. And it could be that, you're struggling with your health and you're unable to work and financially can't pay your bills, or it could be, that you're homeless and you need the support. There's just so many people out there that are in need. And I think, obviously the government and the NHS, they just can't pick it all up. So I think it's down to charities that do some phenomenal work in the community that really is there to support people. So, people that lose a child or lose a family member and they need that support and that care. You've got life-limiting conditions like Duchenne that isn't without, we've got no treatments. And so I think charities and volunteers do a huge amount of work in the community. And I think it wouldn't be the place that we currently live in without those people. It just wouldn't be. So a big shout out to anybody that volunteers and works in the non-profit and charitable sector, because it's not easy. You're certainly not going to get rich working in that area, that's for sure. So you've got to have other motivations to want to do that sort of work. I mean, obviously my motivation is very clear, is I want a cure for my son and for all those children that have got Duchenne. So that's my motivation that gets me out of bed every single day. And also working with the phenomenal amount of people that we do, it's making sure that I get out of bed and actually do a fantastic job on their behalf, because they're giving us the money, so we need to make sure that we're doing good things with it.
Brilliant. Well, when we were at the Val Awards, Kevin, who was one of the hosts, but also from Val, which stands for Voluntary Action Leicestershire, said that there were 3 finalists in every other category, but there were 5 in this particular category because they couldn't decide, they couldn't choose. So I think when we saw that, we kind of went,
just reading every single one. But when you read every single one, it's just so many lovely, beautiful, heartwarming stories that, every single person deserves to win such a fantastic award. So it was a huge achievement. And
there was a highly commended given out in that category as well, because they also, a clear winner, I'd like to say, but, somebody else who, again, had done some incredible stuff.
Yeah.
So what does that award mean to you? What do you think it means to those that support you, the wider team at Alex's Wish?
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic achievement to have got it personally. Obviously, I've put 6.5 years into Alex's Wish. But for me, this award really would not have been won without the team that I've got. So there's Zoe and Heidi that work alongside me. Zoe, hi Zoe. Zoe has been with us now for just over 5 years, and I could not have achieved anything without Zoe. She's just been my rock that sits behind and gets everything organised, and she's absolutely fantastic.
Phenomenal lady.
She's been a friend of mine for a long time now. So I've known her before she worked at Alex's Wish. So she's known Alex since he was born. So she's got those motivations as well. Yeah. She understands a lot about Duchenne. She's also got some friends as well that have got Duchenne, 2 children with Duchenne. So she understands the condition. So without Zoe, we would not have achieved this. Heidi recently joined us earlier this year, so she's doing great work. But for us, it's about the business community and all the supporters and our fantastic trustees board that have been really there supporting us throughout that whole journey. And without their support, there's no way we'd have got this. So this is not an Emma Hallam award, even though it's got my name on it and it is Volunteer of the Year.
And it lives in her house. Let's just be clear on
that. It's in the office now. In fact, I picked it up yesterday. It's like, what are you doing with the award? Where are you taking it? So no, this is very much a team award, and it's, thank you to everyone that supported us. I mean, through that 6.5 years, the number of people that have supported us has just been fantastic. So this is a thank you to every single person, and also those businesses out there as well that, they may not necessarily donate or fundraise, but they give services in kind. So we've got, the lovely Dave, for instance, is a prime example, sitting behind the camera.
Filmmaker extraordinaire.
He's done some great work for us. You know,
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's not. We've got creative design team, printers, accountants, you know, all supporting us behind the scenes that have done some work for us for services in kind, which is just fantastic.
That's awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it's a big team effort.
So with a team like that, are you done? You don't need anybody else then? No more volunteers required?
Yes, please. Absolutely. I think volunteers can join us for sure. So we have got an amazing board of trustees, but we are always looking out for, you know, new trustees that want to come on board. It's a new talent, great idea of bringing in, you know, fresh ideas, new inspiration, new connections. But also as well, there's ambassadors as well. So anybody that wants to get involved but can't necessarily give us a lot of time, they can become ambassadors of Alex's Wish, and we'll give you all the tools and everything that you need. It just means that you're out there spotting opportunities on our behalf and just raising the profile and raising the awareness, which is so important to us. And then we've got things like our events, so Charmed Voice Cycle Ride, we've got a ball, a golf day, got various events throughout the year. So anyone that can volunteer a bit of their time, you know, they could come along and marshal, or they could come and put posters out, or, you know, they can do a number of things. So we just sent out all of our Christmas cards to our supporters. You know, it's something we could just put stamps on envelopes and take those out for us. There are so many different ways that people can get involved, or they could just give us some inspiration, new ideas. You know, we are always looking for anybody that wants to support us. So yeah, anyone out there that wants to volunteer a bit of their time, either as a one-off or on a regular basis, then do get in touch with us at Alex's Wish. We'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. So 2019's not been a bad year for you then. What with the award win? Now I think I heard some other good news that happened this year that took you ahead of your plans. Do you want to share with us? Okay,
so when I first decided to set out on the journey of raising awareness to help treat Duchenne and set up Alex's Wish, at the kitchen table I decided I'd set myself a stretching goal of £1 million, raising £1 million.
Raising £1 million.
Raising £1 million.
From your kitchen table, just you.
Yes, never done any charitable work before, pretty much on my own at the time, and everyone thought, are you crazy?
I'm thinking that now, to be honest, friends.
Exactly. So for me, it was something to aim towards. It was something that I really, really wanted to achieve. And like they say, unless you set a goal in life, you know, how do you go about achieving it? So for me, it was just to put a line in the sand to say, let's raise £1 million, because that would make a big impact, you know, for bringing new treatments out onto the market for Duchenne. So I set myself a goal and I said, right, let's raise £1 million by 2020. And then this year I thought, actually, we're getting close. So spoke to all the trustees and says, you know, come on, let's give it one last push. Let's see if we can try and hit that target. And then I'm really pleased to say that we actually hit it in October this year. Yay!
Winner, vegan chicken dinner.
which is just unbelievable. So that is fantastic. And again, it's with a huge thanks to all of our supporters that enable us to do that.
Done.
So yeah, big,
massive
well done. And to you, Rach, as well, because you've been heavily involved in that whole process. So yeah, really, really pleased, but it doesn't end there.
Doesn't it?
No. We've invested.
That's not what you told me.
We've funded and invested in 26 different projects so far.
26.
So we've got stem cell research that we've done recently. We've got gene therapy, which is potentially, you know, is now going into clinical trial.
Wow.
We've got a new steroid or replacement, because steroid has got many bad side effects. So we're looking at a different steroid alternative that we can give boys. That's in clinical trial and doing very well. We've got a lot of translational drugs, so drugs that have been treated for breast cancer and other conditions that we're now treating. We're now into clinical trial, actually testing those out.
So you're taking a drug that already exists and kind of repurposing it. I know that's not probably the medical term.
No, it is repurposing. Repurposing drugs, you've got it. So we're doing lots of repurposing, and also we've put a lot of funding into new doctors and nurses who are actually running the clinical trials as well.
Oh yeah.
And actually increasing the number of hubs that we've got in the UK to make sure that as many boys in the UK can actually you know, take part in the clinical trials, which is super important. So we've done a number of different things. We've got a couple of projects in the pipeline that we're going to be investing in in the new year. So basically what we do at Alex's Wish is, once we've got a chunk of funding, Normally about 30 or 40,000 pounds, we'll actually invest that straight away, and then we can tell our supporters exactly where that money has gone and then keep them updated on the impact. So what we don't do is keep money in the bank account. So even though we've raised £1 million, that £1 million has been spent, you know, over the years, and we've now got sort of 70,000 pounds that's going into 2 projects imminently. So in the early new year, January and February, that will be spent. So we always constantly have no money in the bank account, but obviously we need a bit of money to keep the charity afloat and keep running. Got events in the pipeline, but we do not save money. So we have no money in the bank doing nothing. It's all going out there to make progress. And I think for us it's important that we invest regularly. So every sort of 3 or 4 months, we'll be looking at what funding we can do and actually go out there and fund. And then obviously the next quarter we spend, you know, events and raising the money again. So for us, that £1 million has gone in the right areas and is making a huge impact. But obviously we've got a lot of trials that are still need to go through the next phases. We've still got lots of work to be done,
hasn't she? You know it's coming. So come on then.
So
6 years ago,
Zoe's going to kill me for saying this because she said don't say it out aloud because it scares the living daylights out of us. But we said we need to get to the next $1 million, but we need to get to the next $1 million much quicker if we can. So we've set ourselves a sort of an internal goal, but obviously now that I'm putting it out there, because I think if you put it out there, then obviously you're more likely to. It's like if you want to lose weight or if you want to, you know, sign up to an event. I think once you've told people you're committed, you're going to do it. So we want to raise the next $1 million if we can within the next 3 years. Which is just scary. I think
it's fabulous.
It's fabulous, but it is scary at the same time. Yeah. But I think we've obviously got the 6.5 years experience and the connections that we've built. So now, you know, I suppose the message is out there to say for everyone that supports us, please do continue us on this journey. This journey will not finish until we treat boys with Duchenne.
Until you find that cure.
We know the effects it has on boys and families, and it is absolutely devastating. I mean, Alex is 13 and he's doing, you know, phenomenally well, but we know that without treatments, you know, his muscles internally are wasting away at an alarming rate, and it's life limiting, and we just want our boys to, you know, to live healthier, longer, happier lives.
You said something very sobering. You say many things that's very sobering, but you said something very sobering just recently where you said although Alex is 13, he's actually almost classified as middle-aged in the world of
Duchenne, because typically boys,
I don't know how that makes you feel, but that makes me kind of feel a little bit sick and definitely kind of like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, typically boys, you know, they live until sort of mid-20s, really. That we are seeing more boys now living into their 30s, which is fantastic, and that's down to things like heart drugs. So we work very closely with obviously the Heart Foundation in terms of, you know, looking after the heart is really, really important. Respiratory now is much better than it was, and also, you know, physiotherapy. We understand more about how we can keep boys healthier for longer by physiotherapy splints. Mobility is much better because you've got power chairs and, you know, great equipment now which keeps boys more mobile and more active for longer. But obviously that's still very young. So for us it's about extending life, and it's about bringing about effective treatments to slow down the condition so that ultimately our boys are still around for that ultimate cure to come along in the future. But yeah, it's important that we look after boys as much as we can do and try and slow down the effects of the muscle wasting. So yeah, we've still got a lot of work to do, but we're making huge progress with ourselves. Now, I just want to say that Duchenne UK is a charity that we've worked very closely with, who is also run by Emily and Alex, 2 mums that have got children with Duchenne, and the work that they're doing is just fantastic. So we support them heavily and we're involved with them and co-fund a lot of the work with them, because we know that we're stronger if we work together, and there's no duplication of effort. It's all about collaborating with other Duchenne charities in the UK and the world, and making sure that Alex's Wish knows we cannot fight this condition on our own. We know that, but obviously that as much as the awareness that we can do, the much money that we can raise and co-fund with other charities, we're making as big an impact as possible, because there's no stone that's being left unturned, and we're not duplicating effort, we're not wasting money or skill sets. So we all know where our skill sets lie, and ours is very much on raising awareness and raising funds. They actually, Duchenne UK, go out there speaking to the scientists and are out there in the field, finding out exactly where is the best place to put our funding. So we work very, very closely with Duchenne UK, and they're just fantastic.
Oh, wow. So, £1 million, 3 years.
Yes, I've said it now.
Before I let you go, because I know how busy you are, an honest question for an honest answer, if you don't mind, Mrs. In terms of the awards that you've won, because we joked at the beginning, but you are a multi-award winning charity. How has Alex's Wish winning awards helped in terms of raising that profile, helping to raise some of that money? Has it?
It has, absolutely. I guess for us, when we won the Leicester Mercury Business Awards, over 3 or 4 years ago now, because not only does it raise awareness, but I think it also gives the charity credibility. Credibility to know that somebody else is looking at it from a different perspective, and to win awards, I think it is just that kind of, you're doing fantastic work. And also as well, we got an award from Tim Maxted as well, who was the Lord Lieutenant of Leicestershire at the time, and we got an award for community impact, so that was fantastic. We've won a niche award. There's one of the Enterprising Women's Awards that we've won, Chamber of Commerce as well, we were highly commended in one of those awards. So yeah, I think award winning definitely has helped raise the profile, raise the credibility, and obviously we can share it at the bottom, at the footnote of our emails, on our marketing materials and everything. We can just demonstrate that, we're a charity that means business, and we're out there to sort of, raise that awareness. So for us, awards are a fantastic way of spreading the word. And
it's also great to see this one with a megawatt smile on her face as well, well as Zoe and Heidi as well. So thank you so much for Rachel. Sitting on, or not on, we haven't got the Sofa of Success, have we? In the Badass Bistro.
We are, it's great. Great
Rick's
venue.
Badass Bistro. Yeah. We have some big plans for next year for the awards, haven't we? We're going national.
Yeah.
Well, when somebody says £1 million in 3 years, you've got to up your game, haven't you?
You have.
That doesn't mean that we won't be looking at the regionals and the local ones as well, but we're looking at some national ones as well. So we're going to have fun. Yeah. Definitely. We're going to have fun. We've got a couple in the pipeline right now, so I'm sure that we'll be seeing this lady back in the Badass Bistro / Sofa of Success / on the Chairs of Charisma, wherever we end up very soon. But before I let you go, now obviously you have recently been sitting at an awards ceremony and have heard your name called out. So when you heard your name called out, let's imagine we're back in that situation. Would you high five or bear hug? High five. High five? Yes, I would. Would you take yourself up onto the stage, or would you take your team up onto the stage? Team, definitely. Team. I'm at the bar and I say, Emma, Zoe, Heidi. Congratulations, you're a winner. Would it be champagne or Prosecco to celebrate with? It's got to be champagne on that occasion. I love a bit of champagne. Sorry, Panma Superstar, not. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Marvellous. Excellent. Well, let's be celebrating with some champagne, more champagne next year. Yes. Huge congratulations on your award. Yes, I absolutely fully accept that it's all the people that sit around and support you. But at the end of the day, Emma, let's be honest, without your vision. Yeah, absolutely. And that's, we're going to continue. So thank you. Emma's details are going to flash up in a second at the end of this video. So if you do have a spare 5 minutes, a £5 or even £2.50, please get in touch with Emma or her colleagues Zoe and Heidi and get involved in a fabulous charity that's doing some awesome work. Thank you once again. Thank you. We'll see you next week in the Badass Bistro. Until then, take care.